Your logistic data is unlikely any other industry's data. It touches your clients, your suppliers, your drivers, and your financials all at once. And when you introduce AI automation into that environment without the right governance architecture, you are not just risking operational failure, you're risking triple exposure. I'm Dan Perera. This is AI for Logistics Series 6. In the last episode, we covered the 4 workflows that should never require a human: dispatch coordination, proof of delivery reconciliations, customer status communication, and invoice matching. Today we go deeper because automating those workflows without the right data governance framework is like building a high-performance engine without a safety system. It works until it doesn't. And when it fails across everything simultaneously. Let's talk about what's actually at stake. A logistics operator's data environment is uniquely complex. You're handling client shipment data, which belongs to your customers, suppliers contract data, which belongs to your vendor relationships, driver data, which is personal employee information, and financial data, invoices, payment terms, reconciliation records, all of it flowing through the same systems, touched by the same automation, sitting in the same infrastructure. A data breach in logistics doesn't just expose one data set, it exposes all of them simultaneously. Your client's shipment details, your supplier's contracts, your own financials, that's triple exposure. And in today's regulatory environment, particularly across Europe and Scandinavia, that's not just an operational risk, it's an existential one. Here are the 5 non-negotiable governance components we built into every logistics AI implementation. Component 1. Human approval gates. Not every decision should be automated. High-stakes actions, exceptions, disputes, financial discrepancies above defined thresholds must require human sign-off. The AI flags, presents, and recommends. The human decides. This isn't a limitation of the technology, it is a design principle that protects the business. Component 2. Full audit trails. Every automated action must be logged. What triggered it, what decision was made, what outcome resulted, and who was notified. In a compliance environment, this isn't optional. It's the difference between demonstrating control and being unable to explain what your own system did. Component 3. Role-based access controls. Minimum necessary permissions across every system and every user. Your dispatch team doesn't need access to financial reconciliation data. Your finance team doesn't need access to driver personal information. Access is scoped to function, nothing broader than what the role requires. Component 4. Data retention policies align to jurisdiction. This is where European and Scandinavian operators must pay particular attention. GDPR requires that personal data is not held longer than necessary for the purpose it was collected. In logistics, that means driver data, client contract data, and shipment records must have defined retention periods. An automated deletion or anonymization when those periods expires. This cannot be retrofitted after the implementation. It must be architected from day one. Component 5. Failure protocols. When an automated system encounters something it cannot resolve, a POD mismatch it can't reconcile, an invoice discrepancy outside defined parameters, it must flag, escalate, and hold. Never guess, never fail silently. The system surfaces the exception to a human with full context. The human resolves it, the resolution is logged, the audit trail is complete. Now let's talk specifically about GDPR. Because if you are a logistic operator running European or Scandinavian routes, this is not optional and it is not coming, it's already here. GDPR governs how personal data is collected, processed, stored, and deleted across all EU member states and the European Economic Area. For logistic operators, it creates 4 specific obligations. Data minimization. You can only collect the personal data you actually need for the specific purpose you're using it for. If your AI system is automating customer status communication, it needs the customer's contact details and shipment reference. It does not need anything beyond that. Right to erasure. If a client or driver requests deletion of their personal data, you must be able to action that request completely and demonstrate that it has been completed. If your data is siloed across disconnected system, which is in most mid-market logistic operations, this is operationally impossible without a unified data architecture. Explicit consent requirements. Particularly relevant for AI voice agents handling inbound calls. Your clients must know they are interacting with an AI system. Consent must be explicit, documented, and retrievable. Cross-border data transfer rules. If your AI systems are processing data in infrastructure outside the EU, including US-based cloud platforms, there are specific transfer mechanisms that must be in place. Standard contractual clauses, adequacy decisions, transfer impact assessments. This is not something to discover after implementation. Here's the strategic reality for European and Scandinavian logistic operators. GDPR compliance is not a cost, it is a competitive advantage. When your clients, particularly enterprise shippers and manufacturers, evaluate logistics partners, data governance is increasingly part of the due diligence process. The operator who can demonstrate GDPR compliant AI architecture wins contracts that others can't even bid for. This is exactly how we approach every European implementation at JX. Governance built it from day one, not retrofitted, not bolted on, architected into the foundation so that compliance is a feature, not an afterthought. Next episode, the full transformation story, a California logistic operator who went from disconnected systems and manual everything to complete supply chain visibility in 60 days. Real numbers, real outcomes, the metric that doesn't show up on any spreadsheet. If you're a logistics operator running European routes and you are not certain your AI governance architecture is GDPR compliant, book your free consultation at jxtech.ai or the link in bio. We'll assess your current environment and show you exactly what needs to be in place. I'm Dan Perera. This is AI for Logistics.